for us, keep learning a lot about ourselves. The big picture defensively, we're not there. I thought we made some strides, leading into the game, but perimeter defense, guarding the three-point line, being able to execute just with great intensity, just it wasn't there, and let them get off to a really good start shooting the ball. Second half better, and overwhelmingly the free throw line continues to be an advantage for us. We're finding ways to get there, but we're 3-0, and they're not easy to get. It doesn't really matter who you play. It's hard. It's early in the year, and for us, we'll take it, and we got to find a way to get better for Saturday night.
First question, Alex.
I know you mentioned it being better defensively in the second half, but how much of that first half was them just maybe hitting some tough shots versus you guys being out of position?
I didn't think I didn't see them take very many tough ones in the first 5-6 minutes of the game, 8 minutes of the game. That's where it got going. Jamari Blackman coming into the game, knowing that he's their best player, and having the opportunity to watch him on film. Those guys were the guys we had to be ready to stop early. And to their credit, he and Agnew and Brim, they really played well. I mean, they hit 7 out of 10 in the first half. Now maybe you get a little balance on that a little bit, but I felt the ball was moving fast for them. I felt our rotations were slow. Felt like just ball pressure in general, we couldn't stifle them, and they got good looks. And I think it was a little bit frustrating as we were going, because I think coming into the game we knew what we had to do. But second half a little better. But again, nowhere near where we need to be. And I think what our team needs to understand is, the more you're on film, the more people pick you apart, the more they pick you apart individually. It's not like you just start out there. I mean, people are trying like crazy to do different things to the other team, and what they're doing to us is they're really picking on us, perimeter-wise in terms of the drive. We're having a hard time guarding the ball, and at the end of the day, they're putting us in tough situations. Another game where, we commit 23 personal fouls. I mean, we're just defensively, we're not there yet. Now, can we get there? Yeah, we have a lot of inexperience, and backcourt-wise, our depth, getting Devontae back, hopefully, here in the near future, gives us another guy to throw in there. But overwhelmingly over 40 minutes, hopefully the collection that we have of guys over the course of 40 minutes, we can find ways to keep going, which we did, and that's what we have to keep doing.
You've talked about challenging him to be able to defend smaller guys, but maybe at both ends of the floor, how much of a swing guy is Trace for you because of the fact that he can let you play bigger, but if you want to play smaller, he can go to the 5,
yeah,
and he can just kind of do a lot for you on the glass?
He's very versatile in that. His athleticism and his size and length, is an advantage, obviously, for him. He's young. Defending on the perimeter is new for him, and he's guarding a lot of drivers right now. Eventually, those drivers will become shooters. So guarding on the perimeter is something that we're stressing. And but yes, being able to move him back and forth and play a smaller lineup at times is a huge deal. That's why the versatility of Jerome and Demizi and Justin and those guys plays a big part of what we're trying to do. There's going to be times where you want to be more mobile. Maybe you have to cover more ground. But there are also some times where you're going to play against teams of great size where you're going to need that bulk. And Trace definitely can bounce back and forth. It's to his advantage at times to be at the 5, especially offensively. The way he runs. And it's also his advantage, as you saw tonight, he drew 8 fouls, so he was able to get the foul line 15 times.
So you mentioned on Saturday that Tennessee was playing more minutes in the game than in practice. Tonight he had 22, second most on the team. Just how close is he to being at 100%, and how much are you relying on him now, given how much he played tonight?
He's starting to practice full go now. He doesn't really have a ton of restrictions, and he hasn't, we'll see. He played 20-some minutes tonight. Do I think he's 100%? No, I don't think he has his rhythm. I think that a month long of not practicing doesn't just allow you to get out there. I do think hopefully he continues to build day by day, and he gets better and better. He had 10 and 5 assists at half. He did a pretty good job right there. I think defensively to start the second half he was good, and then as we got going, he ends up in 21 minutes, 13 points, 6 assists. Pretty good.
Coach, if you had to put more time into defense and practice than you'd like to right now, and possibly at the expense of your offense?
Gosh, it's like you can't spend enough time on something. You know, we have an inexperienced group. You know, there's some guys with some age that may have been here a year or two, but game minutes, you know, that's a little different. And sometimes you look out there, and there's not a lot of guys that have played a ton of minutes, other than Justin and, you know, Al and Deron, and then you know, obviously Devontae. Those are your guys that have played a ton. And Rob. Everyone else really inexperience-wise in terms of a lot of minutes. So getting out there and playing, Armand and those guys getting reps, and they just need to go through it, you know. And I think together, as you get more experience, you get better at it. We're going to get better defensively. There are some real concerns on the perimeter right now in terms of our ability right now to, you know, set the tone, so to speak, with our pressure. But I do think we're going to get better because we have a willing group right now. And, you know, you're in a locker room at the end of a game. You play a lot of different types of guys. Justin Smith scored, I think, 3 points tonight. You know, he's had a couple big games. Justin Smith was just as happy tonight after the game as he was the other day. That's the most important thing for this group as we keep building this, is to find ways to understand that winning is what matters the most.
That was just going to be my question, but it's tonight you had all these guys off the bench, double figures and everything. It looks like it truly does not matter who's out there in regards to that, as to guys wanting to be successful, right?
Without question, I don't think anybody, you know, looks out there, and when Jerome scores a basket, I think our entire team is excited for him. Demezi was back in there tonight, you know, made a couple shots for us, made some plays. Everyone on our team, I think, really collectively understands that if we're going to do this thing and we have the chance to be the best that we can be, there's going to be nights where it's going to be some other guys, you know, every other night. It's not going to be the same guy every night with this group. We have a lot of different types of guys that can help us and contribute in a lot of ways. And I think as we get more experience playing more games, and you start to pick up the competition level as we continue to mow down the road, that's going to serve us best, you know, where you trust that you can put somebody in there and they're going to be able to play the way that you want them to play. And right now we have, when Devontae comes back, we have 11 guys as a coaching staff that I feel like we're good if we're in the game right now. If we put a guy in the game right now, we feel like they got to execute. You know, Jerome and Demezi are two prime examples. Those two guys are going to play a big role for us. They're 8 for 14 in the game, and you know, two guys that come off the bench that weren't really a part of our rotation last year have had an impact. You know, they got to keep getting better at different areas, but you know, being able, those two guys in general can shoot the ball. You know, that's a big help for us.
You touched on the perimeter defense. I guess it was 7-10 in the first half, 0-4 in the second half. How much of that was adjustments or effort, or what did you do perimeter-wise in the second half to kind of take away?
I think we were better. We were better at taking away the initial looks. I don't think they got great looks early. I think, you know, in the first half, as you can see, I thought they got pretty clean looks early, and I think we did a better job there. We made them put the ball on the floor a little bit more, which was good. But you know, all in all, there's just that feeling, I think, as a coaching staff, that we're sitting there right now and we're waiting for that moment or that series of possessions where you're like, wow, you know, 5, 6 in a row, man, guys were really, really on it. And we haven't had that yet. We're going to get it, but that's a concern. You know, it's a concern. I don't want fool's gold for our guys, but also I want them to know how hard it is to win one game. It is hard, man. We got a lot of guys in there right now that, you know, are learning to win together. That's important, and to be able to be 3-0 is the most important thing, without question.
Okay, John and Ken.
You talked about Trace, wanting to see him be more assertive. I mean, he was 14 of 15 from the free throw line today. I mean, is that more the version of Trace you'd like to see?
He was very active. You know, how he drew his fouls, whether they were on offense or rebounds. I thought he got going early. A couple post-ups, couple face-up drives. He was able to get fouled there. So, without question, I mean, you know, trying to get him the ball down low continues for our team, just in general. Being a team that can find ways to get the ball inside is going to be important. But you know, he's a unique player. I've been telling him this since 10th grade. He's going to get fouled a ton. Left-hander, mobile, athletic, awkward. You know, turns into you a lot, kind of, you know, because he is left-handed. But he's always drawing contact around the basket. You're that gifted, you know, around the rim, rebounding, driving, quickness off the ground. It's good, but he can draw fouls. I mean, he's always done that. And proud of him tonight, 14 of 15 from the line. That's a huge deal.
And it came choppy with as many fouls and as many free throws as there was. How important is it for the kids to gain the experience of having to play a choppy game like that, where they have to keep refocusing possession after possession?
Yeah, you have to stay with it. You know, it was a hard game. I think it was a hard game to be in. It was also, you know, just from an officiating standpoint, you know, there's a lot of contact out there. There's a lot of fouls, and I thought they did a nice job. You know, for the most part, we fouled too much. You know, we had some uncharacteristic, just undisciplined, plays, just not good. But for us, we're attacking the basket, we're attacking the paint. Teams are playing different styles against us than they do coming in. Tonight's game, North Alabama, I think just in watching them, the amount of turnovers they forced coming in, watching them last year, watching them this year, their full court pressure, their denial, we didn't see much of that. We saw much more of a go under, pack it in. And we're not that team that we were a year ago where you can just, put 5 guys in the paint and say, let them shoot. I mean, we're not that team. So, you're having to figure out different ways to play against teams. But for us, 45 free throws, I thought we got good looks from 3. We made them. For the most part, we took care of the ball in the second half. In the first half, we were way too sloppy. We had 9 turnovers in the first half. This team can't turn the ball over that many times in a half. That's bad. But for the most part on offense, that wasn't our problem tonight.
Last question.
Kobe have asked about Jerome in different ways. He had his first 3 shots. He had a couple in the second half that didn't go down, but looked pretty clean looks. Just where do you feel like his offensive game and his comfort level are after so much time away?
He's getting more and more comfortable now. I mean, I think you can see, the one thing is you get into games and you play it safe, and then there's playing tentative. He's neither. He's coming in the game and he wants to be himself. And the confidence that he has in himself, especially to take shots and do some things, is great to see. He's able to just bang some shots, and he's a good scoring. I mean, naturally on offense, he can shoot the ball. He's very good around the basket, and he's almost 6'8" right now in terms of his size. He's getting better defensively, which is good. Off the ball and on the ball, he's doing a better job offensively. But as he keeps going, in the half court and how we play and how he's going to have to play, he's going to be a guy that I think we can count on, hopefully in time. That he's offensively, he can score the ball. That's what he's done. That's what he does. And he had some good looks. I thought that in the second half, rimmed right out. I mean, they were right on. So confidence, courage to come in there and just play right now. He's working his way back. But he did this a year ago before he got removed due to injury. But he gets better each week. He's very coachable. He keeps getting better. The more experience he gets better. So we're sort of on like the same track we were a year ago with him, and you're starting to see him play a little bit more freely in the games. Obviously, he's going to have to keep getting better, which I think he will.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.